Of course, we'd like to be able to go the other way, which is to have, in addition to this user.following, also have user.followers. In other words, we want to be able to have a passive relationships join table that will say has many through user.followers. So we can do that here. This is just the reverse. Using this data model, you can see it's the same as active relationships here in the join table, just with followed ID and follower ID reversed, like this. Oops, we can do these two here. So here what Rails will do is look for the followed ID here in this column, which we can then match up with the follower ID in the second column. And from that, we can infer the collection user.followers to return a list of all the users that are following the given user. The implementation is almost exactly the same, just reversing some things. So we can do, actually just copy both of these here, just copy and say has many passive relationships. Again, we need a class name relationship because there is no passive relationship model. Instead of the follower ID being the foreign key, it's now the followed ID. And then we have has many following through passive relationships, source follower. Let's take a look at the failing test there. Line 81, that's this here. That's weird. Why did that fail? Oh, it's because we didn't change has many following to has many followers. So our test actually caught something that broke. That's good. Okay, we're back to green. And so if we believe this parallel structure actually worked, which we might if we look at this diagram, has many followers through passive relationships, this should work. So an easy way to test that is to go in here, and in addition to saying assert Michael.following ?Archer, we can borrow from this here, this following, and say that Archer's followers should include Michael. Save that and see if we're still green. All right, so now we've got a test for the passive relationships as well as for the active relationships. By the way, at this point, you could actually implement something like a followed by ? Method to complement this method. It turns out we won't actually need that in the implementation, but it wouldn't be a terrible idea. So believe it or not, this completes the data modeling. Let's take a look at our test suite, make sure it's green. Okay, this test here, it's not very long, but it really tests a lot of this data modeling here. Pretty much anything changed here will break something, so we could do this. Follower IDs will break. If we change this to a relationship, it breaks. So this is a really nice sensitive test of these has many through associations. This is quite abstract though, so I think it'll become a lot clearer once we build the web interface that lets users follow each other.